The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) yesterday arrested the immediate past governor of Anambra State, Chief Wille Obiano. He was arrested at the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, at about 8:30 p.m. last night. The arrest came barely hours after attending the inauguration of his successor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo. He was said to have been arrested on his way to Houston, Texas, United States of America last night. Obiano had been on the commission's watch list. EFCC spokesman Wilson Uwajurin confirmed the arrest. The EFCC had requested the Nigerian Immigration Service to inform it anytime the governor was traveling out of the country from any of the international airports as well as other points of entry and exit. It is, however, not clear why the anti-graft agency placed the governor on a watch list. Sources said the move was a confirmation that the agency may have been discreetly investigating the former governor and possibly had intelligence that he was planning to escape after handing over power to his successor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, on March 16, 2022. Former Anambra State Commissioner for Information, Don Adinuba, had at the time condemned the EFCC watch list reports, claiming that they were politically motivated. Governor Obiano has a whole 4 months to remain in office as the Anambra State Chief Executive. Adinuba said, "Nobody in Nigeria can circumscribe his constitutionally confirmed immunity, which shields him from both criminal and civil prosecution." The EFCC went too far to announce in November that it is observing him. We are not aware of any state governor who had up to 4 months to be in office, and the EFCC went on to sponsor media reports that he was being investigated, Adinuba had said. Meanwhile, there was drama yesterday at the inauguration of Charles Chukwuma Soludo as governor of Anambra State. As a wife of the immediate past governor, Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano, and wife of the late Ikemba Inewe Dim Odumegu Ojukwu Bianca, were engaged in a fight. The incident, which took place at the government house, Oka, disrupting the oath taking of Governor Soludo and his deputy, Dr. Oyekachukwu Ibezim, administered by Chief Judge of the State, Justice Onoche Ayanchi Belu. The new governor and his deputy were still signing the oath-taking register when Obiano's wife arrived and went straight to where Bianca Ojukwu was already seated. In what people around initially took as a joke, Mrs. Obiano was heard asking Bianca, "What are you doing here? You said you will never win. You said we will never win the governorship, and here you are." This infuriated Bianca, who got into a verbal exchange with Mrs. Obiano, and it degenerated into a fight. Security men and guests rushed to separate both ladies and dragged Mrs. Obiano to where her husband, Chief Wille Obiano, was seated. As soon as Soludo finished signing the document, he came down from the podium and greeted the Obianos. The former governor and his wife departed the venue. Bianca Ojukwu, however, stayed till the end of the ceremony. Although Governor Soludo expressed worry over the incident, he looked unruffled by it. The new governor's media aide, Mr. Joe Anatune, thereafter issued a statement apologizing on behalf of his boss about the incident. He said, "Governor Chukwuma Charles Soludo hereby apologizes to Anambra people, their friends and guests who attended his inauguration this morning for the breach of protocol. The breach was caused by improper communication, which itself arose from a personal issue between the two parties involved in the breach. Steps are being taken to resolve the misunderstanding and restore the parties to their previous relationship. Anambra State has over the years been known for a huge stock of social harmony, and the stock will increase substantially in the years ahead as part of a concerted effort to accelerate the state's development. God bless Anambra State, the light of the nation." While delivering his inaugural speech, Soludo said the Anambra we are talking about is a place of law and order. He, however, did not dwell much on the incident. In the speech that lasted about 50 minutes, the governor said, "My people of Anambra State, this is the moment. I applied for this job and ABGA, our party, shortlisted me, and you, my fellow Anambra people, interviewed and employed me as your chief servant, and Dr. Oyekachuku Ibezim as my deputy. God ordained this moment and we are grateful to him and you all for the privilege to serve you. We will work hard to make you proud. Today is my first day at work and I will work for 8 hours today." Explaining why he chose a low-key inauguration, Soludo added, "We had over 1 month to celebrate our victory. Now is the time to work and there is no minute or money to waste for funfair. We could not organize an elaborate ceremony because the state cannot afford it. Besides, for personal reasons, I do not subscribe to using the paltry taxes collected from market women and Okada keke operators on fleeting fanfare and banquet. I insisted that this inauguration would not cost the government of Anambra State 1 kobo, and it has not. I would rather use our available resources to lay the foundation for a public hospital at Okpoko or elsewhere, or empower our security agencies to fight criminality. Within the next 1 week, the list of commissioners will be laid before the House of Assembly. Tomorrow, we would head to Okpoko in Ugbaru local government area and parts of Onitsha and Idemili as we signpost our commencement to urban regeneration, beginning with the greater Onitsha metropolis." He commended President Muhammadu Buhari for remaining a true Democrat and the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), as well as security agencies for insisting on a credible electoral process. Soludo also paid tribute to the 3 policemen, Inspector Mutala Said, Sergeant Madishiru Ahmed, and Sergeant Samuel Ishaya, who lost their lives to unknown gunmen who attacked his home at Isofia in Aguta local government area during a meeting with youths in his village last year, and promised to continue to take care of their families. The governor, who was adorned in the local Akwete dress with a black trouser and a red cap to match, attended the ceremony with his wife and 6 children. As earlier promised, he was driven into the government house in an innocent SUV vehicle, which he stated would be his official vehicle and that of his deputy. His inauguration yesterday drew reactions from stakeholders who saw his election as a positive development for Anambra State. Reacting to the clash between both women, a coalition of Southeast youth leaders, COSLI, the umbrella body of all youth groups in the Southeast geopolitical zone, called for the immediate arrest and prosecution of Mrs. Obiano. COSLI, in a press statement signed by its national president Goodluck Ibim and publicity secretary Comrade Oke Unwaru, strongly condemned the action, which it described as abominable given the pedigree of the Ojukwu family. The statement read, "It is the height of insult on the entire Igbo nation for Mrs. Obiano to fight the wife of our reverend and great Igbo leader and icon, Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu. The father of Bianca, Chief C.C. Onu, was a former governor of Old Anambra State who achieved so much for his people. Mrs. Obiano has desecrated the temple and honor of the entire Igbo nation, and she has to be disciplined. We demand the immediate arrest and prosecution of Mrs. Obiano by security agencies. As youth leaders of the entire Igbo nation, we cannot and will not accept or play down such a great insult to the wife of our great leader, Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu. Mrs. Obiano has purchased some goods, and those goods she bought have to be supplied to her in full without removing any item from the goods she bought. We therefore declare Mrs. Obiano, the wife of the former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Wille Obiano, a persona non grata in Igbo land for desecrating Aliagbo. The order has been given and it must be strictly adhered to."